Bertinoli, General Manager of Kart Circuit Autobahn, located here in Joliet, Illinois at the Autobahn Country Club.
Hi, and I'm Brett Harper, Assistant General Manager of Kart Circuit Autobahn. Welcome to our Find the Front series. We'll be talking about racecraft and a lot of different things that will help you get to the front of the pack.
Yeah, for today's subject, we're going to be covering a race driver that was starting at the rear of the pack and how he found his way to the front of the pack. We'll be covering some of the aspects of how he got there, his technique, his patience, how he found lines to get there, and things that will help you also increase your racecraft and improve as you go on. And so one of the things that I wanted to talk about and just keep in mind for the purposes of our video today, we've slowed the video down in order for us to be able to commentate better on the video. So in actuality, these karts are going about 50 miles an hour down the straightaway. In this particular instance, we were running the track in a counterclockwise position on a hot summer night. As you can tell, most of the drivers had shorts on. So let's get forward and move on with the video. So keep an eye on this driver, Brett. He's watching, and you notice when we run the track in a counterclockwise position, the flagman is not in the flag stand. He's up on the upper right, well beyond. He got an excellent start here. He timed it perfectly. He got a jump, and he made up one position immediately right away. And you'll notice as the video goes on here, he makes up quite a few more positions right away. He's got a great run. The timing was perfect, and he picked his line.
Yeah, definitely. And I also noticed that we were getting a little bumpy from behind there.
Right.
What do you think about that? Maybe, when things like that happen, we just got to cue in on that kart in front, right?
Right, yeah. So really, when you have somebody pushing you from behind, which happens quite frequently, is just keep your hand steady because it will free up the rear of the kart a little bit. That's a great point, though. And you'll notice this driver did that as well, too. But expect it because with these karts, there is some bumping.
Yeah, definitely. So it looks like we made a couple passes there, and now we're coming through the S-turns here. Up into a pretty tricky turn. Let's go ahead and see what happens here.
I really like this driver's patience, though, and you notice how smooth his hands are. He's constantly looking ahead and trying to set up the driver in front of him. Has a great run on the inside here. It's another position where you can have a point on our track where you can pass on the inside or the outside.
Yeah, absolutely. And he just kept the kart right in the perfect spot there on track.
Exactly.
Right? We noticed that the kart in front kind of stepped out a little bit and missed that apex. We were able just to keep on trucking through.
Yeah, and he's moving forward, which is a great thing that we do when we try to instruct drivers here. If you're not moving forward, you're generally getting passed. So right. he's going in the right direction here.
Yep, coming up to a really tricky turn on the track now, top of the hill. We're obviously traveling counterclockwise, so it's not turn 3, but we noticed that one. Now coming down the hill, and let's see what happens here. Get the kart all the way on the right side of the track here so we can open up for the apex. Yep. See if we can get a run onto the front straight.
No, he's getting a great run here. Look at that. He timed it perfectly once again, passed on the inside there. He's gaining momentum on the karts in front of him. Now, what was interesting about this driver is he has some favorite places to pass, obviously, but he's very patient. He picks his line perfectly, and he's very smooth. So it helps him with getting to the front. The less you move your hands with these karts, the faster they're going to go.
Yeah,
less scrubbing of the speed. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And so maybe some of his perfect places to pass or the places that he likes to pass are the appropriate places to pass, and maybe some inappropriate places to pass are not his favorite passing zones, right? Kind of obvious, but maybe we're coming into an S-turn section here where we're not really looking for passes, right? We're just kind of trying to setting up.
Exactly, right. It's a lot of that in he had 20-some laps to do this. I think this was a 20-lap feature, or even if it was a 17-lap feature, he had time to do it. I mean, it's a long race in these karts. It can last with the lap times, right around 50 seconds or a little bit sub 50 seconds. He has time to do that, and that's one of the things a lot of drivers don't do, is they think that they have to get to the front immediately. And with his patience, which was very interesting, he's moving forward very quickly.
Yeah. Well, patience is the key all the time, right? But almost certainly in kart racing, where a lot's going to be happening on the first lap, second lap, third lap, and we kind of got to wait till we can get in that little bit of a rhythm for ourselves, find that soft spot in the pack where we can definitely find ourselves and find the speed, right?
Easier said than done.
Yeah, well, that's very true, right?
Exactly. This guy really impresses me. He does a really good job. Looking around, checking over his shoulders.
Yep, and we're already coming into lap 3 or 4 here, and I think we got the leader in our sights, right?
So it's phenomenal. This is a great video to analyze for sure.
Absolutely, yeah. And then right now we're not trying to make any passes or anything like that, right? We know exactly what we need to do. We know that if we step out 3 wide there, we're creating really unneeded situations.
Another position right there. He knows he has time.
Yep. Yep.
If we looked at this video in full speed, there's definitely a lot more going on, which is it's pretty phenomenal watching his hands here. But the cool thing about it is you can watch. The best way to instruct young drivers or even drivers of any kind is getting a camera like this guy has on his helmet. You can watch his hands. You can't see his feet as much, but it's a great way to watch and help people get better with their racecraft.
Yeah, absolutely. What a great point. How much have we seen of this today?
Not with this driver, not much at all. I mean, he's very smooth.
Yep. Coming into the back section of the track, good passing zone here. Let's see what he can make happen. A little bit more advantageous on the inside of the apex here, and we're setting up high and wide at the top of the hill.
Yep.
I see an opportunity here. Let's see what happens.
Here he goes.
There we go. Can we get them both?
2 spots.
That's
awesome.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, he's got a great run now. He's in the lead pack now already.
Yeah.
I mean, we're probably only 5 or 6 laps into this thing.
Yeah, and we got a big run coming on the front straight too. I mean, it just goes to show you that it's not all about the turn you're in, right? The turn that I'm in is important for the next turn and the next turn, and it's all a building effect, right?
Exactly right, yeah. And he's checking around, which is totally normal and acceptable. We don't want to be looking back too much, but he's just checking. He's checking his surroundings. He knows where he's at. You know, the number one thing you do when you're racing, know who you're racing.
Exactly. Yep. And awareness has a lot to do with that old adverb, eyes in the back of your head, right? And that is a real thing, right? There is that level of awareness where you kind of feel that go-kart on either side, and you know, maybe hopefully at some point we'll get there.
Yeah, setting this guy up here. He's timing it perfectly, going through the S's. He's coming into his favorite section of the track here. So around the backside and back in the Monza turn back here, he's gonna. Yep, look at this. Oh yeah.
There we go.
A little curb riding there, no issues. Our curbs are pretty smooth, so you can do that here.
Yep. Yeah, that was a great pass there. You noticed that the number 3 cart just opened up just enough, right? And he was
all you need.
Really advantageous and got the cart in there. Really not even much bumping and grinding there. Not at all.
No.
So that was great.
Nope.
And again, here we're setting ourselves up for the top of the hill really well. We can be really aggressive with a late apex here, and here we go.
Great run.
Yep.
Great run again.
It's really interesting to notice some of the curbs that he's running over and some of the curbs that he isn't running over.
Exactly.
And maybe we'll leave that for you, the viewer, to kind of understand yourselves. But definitely some tips or tricks there.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, that's one of the neat things about our track is that the curbs are usable here, and with many tracks they aren't. So, you know, you can use most of them. Sometimes they work to your advantage, and sometimes they don't.
Yep. Let's see what we can do. And now this is not a passing zone here, certainly not in regards to how close we are.
But look at how wide the guy went in front of him.
Exactly.
He wasn't as smooth as this driver here, and he you know, the kart stepped out on him a little bit. So it's all about smoothness with these karts. You're running a harder tire, a lot of weight. But he's setting him up again. I think he's going for it in his favorite place at the top of the hill.
I think it's coming.
I don't know. We'll see.
They're running a different line there. We've already switched them up, and we're on a different line, sneaking in on the inside, and I think this pass is all but done here.
Looks pretty good.
Yeah, I'm definitely keeping lots of space there to our right because we don't want to be driving anybody off the track. Yeah. Keeping a lot of space there, but we made the pass.
He did it really nice there. I mean, there was no shoving of the other driver off. He gave way, he gave room, and the other driver gave him room, and he made the pass successfully. And look at that. He's at the front.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't even think we're halfway through our race yet.
I know. You know, generally speaking, it takes pretty close to the entire race for that to happen. But he was, you know, he had it. That driver, he was on it that night. It was pretty impressive how fast he did get to the front.
Absolutely, yeah, and you know, it really goes into him being the patient driver that we were talking about, and the skilled driver, but also, you know, having certain things happen out on track are definitely also very important as well.
No, absolutely. Well, thanks again for watching our Find the Front series. The footage that we had watched tonight, Brett, was from our rental kart series, and we're going to be hosting that again this year. We're going to be having a spring, a summer, and a fall league. And one of the things that I did want to mention here is we're going to have a separate league this year. We're going to be having what's called Ironman. We're going to be introducing that. If you go to kartcircuitautobahn.com, you can actually find information about that. The spring league starts very soon, and it's a 4-race series. The summer is a 7-race series, and then we'll have a fall series. Now, the Ironman series is going to be divided up into light and heavy, similar to how we run our regular league, but we're going to be only running that once a month. So once again, thanks for watching this video. We hope you follow us on social media. And once again, I'm Alan from Kart Circuit Autobahn.
I'm Brett.
Thanks for watching.